Hello students, today we're going to overview your project for your folk art quilt patch project. So we're going to talk about American folk art and we're specifically going to talk about quilts. So before we do that, you need to know these terms. Personal interest, so that is the subject matter that is of interest to the viewer. So anything in the artwork that is of interest. Theme is the idea behind a body of work, so that may be artworks that have similar subject matter. They may look like they're all about the same thing. And then you should know what inspiration is, but if you don't, it's something that sparks an idea. So it's something that helps you come up with your idea for your artwork. Okay, so the learning objective for this project is that you guys will create your own folk art piece showing a personal aspect of your life, and then you'll write an artist statement to support your artistic decisions. It'll explain what you did to make your artwork. So this is the outline of the lesson. You're going to watch this introduction to folk art video on YouTube. Then you're going to complete an artwork analysis worksheet where you just look at a folk art quilt and you analyze everything you see. Then you're going to watch this video, which you're doing now. And then if you need to, you'll watch the folk art demo, which is where I will show you what you'll need to do in order to make your quilt patch, which you can see 2 examples here. And then you'll continue working on that until you finish and write your artist statement and submit it to me, as we usually do with our projects. Okay, so we need to talk about what folk art is. So it is a traditional decorative art form usually used to express community life. So that is artwork about groups of people, so a specific community. For this project, we're talking about early American settlers. And typically these artists were not professionals. So the reason they made quilts during this time is most of the early American quilts that we have record of today were made by English and Dutch settlers. And they were just coming to America and starting to make their life here. They would patch old blankets, make clothing with fabric. They had the function, that they needed to keep warm. They sometimes were made as a tradition. So, for example, they might make a quilt for each family, for each child in the family. And then we also can see how their techniques changed from hand sewing to machine sewing as the years progressed. Okay, so this quilt has a lot going on, a lot of greenery. And when we look at everything in this quilt, it can tell us a little bit about what's going on. So we can see that whoever made this might have been around a garden or a farm because there's lots of plants and animals. Now this one is a lot different. So it looks like there's some type of instrument, maybe a saxophone here, and some hands, so someone's playing the saxophone. There's lots of other things going on, so we could assume that that's expressing the sound or the music coming from the instrument. We've got some soldiers in this one. This one we have some buildings and some more plants. And this one's much different. It's just patterns. So sometimes they did do quilts where there was just patterns. So they're using these shapes and colors to create the pattern of what looks like a sunburst. So it's very decorative, but typically they were used to show imagery of their community. So this is the quilt that you're going to analyze on your artwork analysis sheet. And you can see there's a lot of things going on. We've got a lot of animals, plants, things like that, but we've also got some areas of just shape and pattern. So you can pause this and look at it here. It's also on your artwork analysis sheet. And here's the background information about the quilt, which is also on your artwork analysis sheet. So the quilt was for Sarah Ann Garges, and it was a family tradition to make the quilt in celebration of her engagement to Oliver. Now, what you're going to do is something similar. You're going to make your own quilt. So you're going to take a little piece of construction paper, you're going to draw on it, and then you're going to use different pieces of colored construction paper to make the image, which I'll explain more in the demo video, so make sure you watch that. After you're done, you will write an artist statement explaining it, and then you'll submit it to me.